Good morning and welcome to Module 4 of our class SCI 220 Energy and Society. This week we'll be talking about nuclear power. So Module 4 is going to cover a lot about nuclear power production, looking at its use, like a little bit of the history of how we got into nuclear power, some of its early uses in the earlier part of the 20th century here, and then looking at the newer technology of nuclear fusion, a very early stage, of course. So also looking at some of the environmental impact, the fears, weapons, looking at the cost of these building the plants as well. So a lot about having to do with nuclear power. So review the introduction and overview, kind of getting a little bit of a gist of why it's important to cover nuclear energy in Energy and Society. And our readings and resources page here, you're going to pay attention specifically to chapters 6 and 12, looking specifically at the different type of reactors available currently, why you would use one reactor over another, some of the obstacles of nuclear power. It seems to have plateaued in recent years, so is it going to make a comeback? And then the environmental impacts of nuclear. So what can we look at in terms of the acquisition and use of nuclear fuel and nuclear fission? What are those environmental impacts? And then chapter 12, kind of understanding the difference between fusion and fission and some of the advantages. Take a look at some of the additional information, looking at the energy flow charts, looking at U.S. operating commercial nuclear power reactors, the map, what can we learn from Germany's nuclear policies, and a whole bunch of other supplemental readings as well having to do with nuclear power. For your discussion this week is going to be your opinion on nuclear. So you'll learn that much of the existing nuclear energy fleet was built more than 50 years ago. So what's your take on it? So if you're a voting member of the NRC, would you vote to extend the commission for nuclear reactors? What are those factors? Why not? What are the factors? What are your thoughts? So do your own research and looking at also the position of other economic leaders using nuclear power like China, France, and Germany. And then in your two follow-up responses, you're going to compare, right here, you're going to compare your opinion with others. Agree to disagree. So you're going to just take a look at supporting your position using your information and how that differs or agrees with your classmates. Make sure you complete the Module 4 quiz as well, covering both Modules 3 and 4. And then this is not this is an ungraded assignment. This is just a little reminder for your final project or your final research paper here. So just begin research, making sure that you address these attributes here for the U.S. energy supply. And then also here's the final project guidelines and rubric to go by. So again, what's due for this week? Thursday, your initial discussion post is due for the global position on nuclear energy, your two responses by Sunday, and make sure you complete your quiz, and then just kind of look into your planning for your final research project. Let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to a great week on nuclear power and a great discussion this week.